What's up, everybody? Shauna D Man here. Welcome back to the channel. Hope you guys are doing great. Hope you guys are having yourselves a great week. We are back with episode 4 of the Auburn Podcast for the 2025 season or year, depending on how you want to look at it. And we are going to do it this is, at the time of recording, this is just a quick review of Auburn versus Texas. Since somebody decided to play this game, that let these guys play at 8 o'clock at night. So this is just going to be a relatively quick, small review of that game. Auburn beats Texas on the road 87-82. This is Auburn's second truest road game of the year so far. Obviously, the first one was at Duke. Texas had like a 20-point loss last week to Texas A&M. And they got a really tough stretch coming up in this next couple of games with Auburn, and then I believe Tennessee, Oklahoma, Florida. So Texas, this was probably a must-get game. And a lot of people, like I think ESPN gave Auburn like a 69% chance to win this game. And I mean, Auburn did blew. It looked like Auburn was going to go for another 20-plus win kind of game, but Texas made it interesting. Like, it took Texas to having like one guy having 34 points to keep them in the game, because I'm sure if you take away half of that, this still probably a 20, maybe not a 20 point, maybe a 17, 18 point loss. Heading toward the end of the game, Bruce Pearl picks up another win. He is now the winningest coach in Auburn history, with several more games to go this season, and potentially, I'm not sure how much he'll go in future seasons, how much tread he has on a tire in regards to his coaching career at Auburn. But he's more than likely going to get a statue at Auburn. Like, that is 100% a certainty. At least I think it is. Probably a lot of people think he's probably get a statue as well. Now, if he gets, which probably gets a national title, obviously that'd be a nice little thing to add to his resume. But getting a couple of SEC titles this season would definitely cement that. But I think either way, he'll have a statue. If not a statue, then Auburn would do something for Bruce Pearl. That is for sure. I don't think a coach like this, who is now the winningest coach in program history, you definitely do something for them in some way, shape, or form. But let's get into the game. Let's see. There we go. So it was a lot closer than I was expecting. Janai Broome again with a double kind of game. Really, your starters showed up. Chad Baker had 16. Different Jones again with 10 points. Miles Kelly with 18 points. Like, that's important. I think that's his most he's had all season, I believe. I could be wrong about that. I can't think of the game off the top of my head. And then obviously Chaney Johnson, a little bit of a quiet game for him. Ja'Kai Howard had 6 points. Chris Moore had 3 points. Good for him. And then Tahad Pettifer had 10 points. Foul trouble was looking a little meh. Was most of your guys, and a lot of it's questionable calls sometimes, but they definitely took care of business in that regard. Like, Texas is not a bad basketball team, and I talked about them, I believe, on Saturday night after I did like a quick small glimpse of them, like a little preview of them after Auburn beat Missouri. And Texas they're not a bad basketball team. They beat like NC State and a few other teams that are relatively good. So. And then just looking at everything here, about even when it comes field goal percentage, about even. 3-point shooting percentage. Auburn, they had a falling off. Well, they made 2 less three pointers than they did against Missouri, because Missouri is like 10 of 21. This is just 8 of 21. But both teams went to the line a good bit in this game. So, and they both shot their free throw percentages are both really good. Rebounds, Auburn obviously had the lead there. Texas had a pretty good defensive rebound average. Assist, obviously Auburn. Steals, both had 6. Blocks, obviously Auburn. Turnovers, a little bit of a turnover game for both teams for sure. Both got 12 points off of turnovers. And then other than that, about even in everything. So this was a somewhat evenly matched game. And that's like I didn't think Texas was going to be like a push or over anything like that. But if you look at Texas's guys, again, you had a guy go for 34 points in this game. So, like, there's not, it is what it is. He had himself. I think with the announcers who were like just riding Texas all game, I think they said this is the most that a player has done since Kevin Durant when he was at Texas. So that says something about this particular player. And then they didn't get much out of their bench. Mainly the majority of the points came from, looks like, their 3 starters. 34 points, 11 points, 19 points. But then, like, you just compare that with Auburn, where Auburn starters or Auburn's backups or the bench points relatively, they did enough to help Auburn win the game. I don't know if this, because Tammy Johnson's usually has a lot more. He usually has a lot more points. I think Ja'Kai Howard's probably about where he's at. He's usually maybe like 6 to 9 points. And then Tahad Pettifer, about 10 points. Usually he has probably like maybe 12, 13 points, depending on the game. Or he just has a game where he just goes off. But definitely I would say the game was carried by your starters. And I mean, it is what it is, because if you look at the SEC, like Tennessee, like Auburn, more than likely should be the number 1 team when the next AP poll comes out. They should be. Tennessee got whacked by Florida. So let's see. Where are you at? There you are. So obviously Auburn won. Like, Tennessee got thumped by 30 points against Florida. And then you have Kentucky, who lost to Georgia. Mississippi State won. Auburn played. See right now, like I said, I believe in Saturday's video, I said there's a good opportunity that Mississippi State could come into Neville Arena 4-0 in conference play. And right now, they're 2-0 in conference play. And obviously LSU or Missouri beat LSU, so it is. It is what it is. So Auburn's next game, they're on the road at South Carolina, 12 p.m. tip-off. Auburn has an 88% chance of winning. Should not be concerned. It's a road game. And right now this season, when it comes to the SEC, these road games, it's not a given. This is going to be a very tough league. So they lost. So see, South Carolina lost to Mississippi State, and they beat Presbyterian overtime against who all have they played? Against Clemson. They lost to North Florida. They lost to Indiana, Xavier. They did beat 3 ACC teams. You could probably say because Indiana is obviously, better than South Carolina. Xavier is better than South Carolina. So, and then Mississippi State's obviously better than South Carolina. So those are probably teams, Indiana, Xavier, that are probably going to be in the NCAA tournament for sure, I would assume. But just looking at Auburn and what they got, they got to go on the road this Saturday, then come back to play Mississippi State. Then they got Georgia. And then on a Tuesday? No. Yeah. Saturday, Tuesday. That's Saturday again. Yeah. And then Wednesday. They'll play on a Wednesday. That's when that game is. Okay. So really good win. This chalks up another, I believe. Let me check something. I gotta find it. Because the next round posted like Auburn's quad win opportunities, and I think so I can find it. If it's here, am I on the right thing? Yeah. Yeah. So Missouri was a quad 2 win. Now, obviously, I think these changes based off like their the records and stuff like that. But Missouri was a quad 2 win. Texas is at the time is considered a quad 1 win. South Carolina's a quad 2, and then after that, Mississippi State, Georgia, Tennessee, LSU, Ole Miss. Those are 5 straight quad 1 win opportunities. Now, obviously, again, that's probably going to change as these teams play and things like that. But there's opportunities to like solidify yourself as the number 1 seed in the NCAA tournament. But we're obviously, again, a lot of these teams are going to be really, really tough to beat. This year, the SEC is really, really good. And so it's going to be interesting to see how things shape out with the conference. But good win, very close. Obviously, Bruce can probably use this to get these guys' attention. I was a little concerned that they were going to like slack off when they got like a pretty decent lead, but they were able to stay focused when Texas was making shots down the end to keep it a good win for them. So Auburn beats Texas on the road, 87-82. That's pretty much it I'll have for you guys. Be sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Be sure you comment below, and I will see you guys in the next video. Y'all have a good one.